Hello and welcome to Breeze Titan, the industry's easiest to use document conversion, naming, and numbering utility. In today's tutorial, we're going to show you how quickly and easily you can convert native files into PDF and single-page image volumes for use in all of the popular litigation support applications. To do this, it is a two-step process. In step one, process native files to volume, we take the source native files, including loose Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, and other document types, and convert them. This would also include reading PST files, extracting all of the emails and their individual attachments, cataloging all of the metadata for all the file types, and assigning a unique doc ID number to each of those files. Then in step two, we'll actually convert them to image, but we'll come to that in a moment. The first thing we do is browse out and select our documents to process. And we have a small set of documents for this demo out there. There are 12 documents in the root folder. Let's take a quick look at what we have here. In this folder, we have a subfolder that contains a Visio file. We also have files in the root. We have a docx, a JPEG, a text file, an MSG file, a PowerPoint, an Excel spreadsheet, an EML, a TIFF, a PST that contains emails with attachments, a PDF file, and a BMP file. The first thing we do is we assign a prefix and a counter, which will be our unique doc ID for each document. Not the pages in the document, but this is a doc ID identifier, a document level identifier. We set an output location. We're going to make a new folder, and we're going to call this demo_native. Then we're going to hit OK on the dialog, and that creates the folder and tells Breeze where we want the output to go. We hit the Go button, and that's it. Breeze is out processing the native files. You'll see the name of each file fly across the bottom here. Now you'll notice we're in document 19, 20, and we only started with 12 files. That's because some of our files have attachments or contain documents. The zip file has a container and contains documents inside of it. The PST file has emails, and those emails have attachments. So you can see that we processed 20 documents because 21 is our next document to be processed. Now let's look at what we have at this point. Out in the output folder, our demo native, we have our data folder that contains the BreezeDB file, which is a SQLite database file. This file contains all of the metadata that we've extracted from each of the documents and information about where the document is located, its file type, and other information. We also made native load files for concordance and summation, along with an Opticon and OLL load file, which are empty because there are no images to be loaded into those applications yet. We also created a native CSV file that has all of the metadata for the records, and a print exception report, which is empty at this point because we do not have any printing or conversion happening yet. So now let's go to step two. Now that we have our volume, we select convert the native volume to TIFF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go browse out and select my native volume in the demo native folder. I'm going to go to the data folder, and I'm going to select the BreezeDB file for that volume that we just created. I'm going to open it, and Breeze knows that there are 20 documents that we processed. The OCR non-extractables option tells Breeze that if it was an image file, go ahead and attempt to create the OCR for that document. If it was a native file, we don't have to OCR the document because it already has the text of the document inside of the native file. All we have to do is extract that text along with the images. We have to specifically tell Breeze whether we want to convert spreadsheets or not. And we also have the option to only output PDF. We do not recommend using this feature unless you absolutely know that this is all you want, are doc ID named PDF files. You also have the option to include duplicate records had we deduped the step one volume set, and we will save that for another tutorial. Some options about the formatting of the documents, that's the same options that we had in process image files, and we'll go into those in depth in another tutorial. Now all we have to do is hit go, and Breeze will process and convert those native files to image. We will see the file names come across the bottom in the tutorial of where it is at, and in just a moment these 20 files will have been converted to image. The OCR will have been extracted or created for the particular image files, and we will have a volume that is ready to be loaded into Summation, Concordance, or Trial Director, along with DocID named PDF files. Now these documents are not Bates numbered yet. They are merely processed and extracted into a Breeze image volume. Now while we're waiting for this process to complete, let's go out and look at what we have in the Demo Native folder. We have an images folder that contains the image files for our documents. We'll blow up the thumbnails here and take a look at what we have. And you can see we have documents, this particular document, and its extracted text. And we have, every document has the DocID number and a counter for the DocID for the page, for each page extracted. If we scroll down, we'll find a document that has multiple pages, like document 5, and you'll see it's Breeze 5, BRZ5 underscore 0001 underscore 0002 03, etc. Now Breeze has told us that it's completed processing and how fast it processed. And let's go back to that folder and look at the rest of the output. We have a native folder that contains all of the native files that have been DocID'd. We have a PDF file output that contains all of the PDF files for the processing. And we have a text folder that contains the multi-page text for all of the documents. Now in the images folder, we also have text, but there we have the single page text. So depending on what application you use, you have both single page and multi-page text available to you. We also at the same time updated the load files. And now in addition to the EDII and EDAT file, we now have a full Concordance OPT, a Trial Director OLL, a DII file, and a DAT file that contains all of the information on the documents. And that's all there is to converting native files. We hope this tutorial has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can always send an email to support@breezelegalsolutions.com. Thank you very much, and have a great day.